Hello Duck fans, Kurt here. Welcome to my 60-second video log, which is going to be my last video log. I'm back here in Oregon at my parents' house in Eugene. I was up in the press box for the game on Saturday, as well as going to the soccer match on Friday night. It's been great being back home. I've visited a lot of my old haunts, eaten a lot of food I can't find down in LA. And seen a lot of movies for $1.50 over at Gateway Mall. I wish we had a theater like that back in Los Angeles. So it's been great being back home. I've run into some familiar faces of Oregon's past. Reggie Ogburn, I had lunch with him, ran into Kenny Wheaton and Eric Edwards, and Brent Haberly, and a ton of fans who recognized me and some old friends. So it's been great. It was quite an experience getting to watch a game among the media and be in the post-game press conferences, seeing how the sausage is made. There's a complete Sunday morning wrap-up on FishDuck.com that I worked very hard to make. I actually pulled an all-nighter because it was a night game. I didn't get home till about 1 a.m. and I wrapped up the video and article and photo galleries that we did for the wrap-up around 8 in the morning and then went to sleep. So quite a long night. You can, of course, check out the video that I made that wraps up everything by clicking right here. So it's been an interesting week for Oregon sports. Oregon volleyball had tied a record for consecutive match wins, rising all the way to number 2 in the rankings. But they lost over the weekend at number 7 Stanford. However, Duck volleyball is still right in the mix this year, competing for a championship, but it's going to be tough because the Pac-12 is as good as any conference in the country, absolutely stacked with the best teams in the nation. So the road isn't going to be easy, but the Ducks are looking solid to be a legitimate contender for the national title this year. First, though, Pac-12 title, got to take care of that. Go support our Oregon volleyball team. Also, Oregon soccer. I went to the match Friday at Pape Field, the new facility just east of Autzen Stadium. The place is gorgeous. It's a fantastic facility. The Ducks lost, unfortunately, 1-0 to UCLA. However, it was a new attendance record at Pape Field. 944 fans came out to support the Ducks, so great job there. And the Ducks rebounded nicely. On Sunday afternoon, they beat USC 1-0 in overtime, so way to go, Oregon Ducks. Now, in addition to soccer, there was also golf and soccer action, and of course, it's cross-country season. But the big event this week was what I flew 1,000 miles to attend, the Washington-Oregon game at Autzen Stadium Saturday night. It was the third consecutive nationally televised game on ESPN or ESPN2 for the Ducks. And Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott was on site and at halftime was being interviewed by the media, including me, and he said that the Ducks had been a victim of their own success. They're so popular that there's so much demand for them to be on national TV, so that's why we keep getting all the night games in a row. While it was a long night for me and it was a long night for other media folks, it was not as much of a long night as it was for the Huskies, at least figuratively. They started off the evening, and I'm not sure if fans were in the stadium by this point or not, but during pregame warm-ups I saw from the press box a bunch of Washington players huddle up at the 50-yard line and proceed to spend several minutes stomping the Oregon O logo and chanting. That was the first time I think they've done that since 2002, which was the last time that they beat Oregon at Autzen Stadium. That's when Rick Neuheisel was the coach, brought the team back out of the locker room to dance around on the Oregon O. Isaac Remington and some other players saw that, and they weren't too happy with it. And they took it out on the Huskies over the course of the night. By the night's end, the Ducks had racked up 52 points on Washington. Marcus Mariota threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 to Colt Bain Laierla. Kenyon Barner had his third 100-yard or more rushing game on the season, and he also got into the record books. He's now 6th all-time. He surpassed Ricky Whittle on the all-time Oregon rushing list. The 4 honorary captains that were there, Pat McNally, Reggie Ogburn, Brandon Bear, and LeGarrette Blunt. Bear and Blunt came back to a resounding welcome, and I feel like I've played a nice role in the welcome that Reggie got. It was his first time back in Oregon in 31 years. He was really an integral part in getting the ball rolling. in the early 80s. You know, it's been a long haul for Oregon to get where they're at now. And a lot of that would not have been possible without Reggie Ogburn's efforts. And I wanted to make sure that his story was known. So we've read several articles on FishDuck.com. And my Sunday article was partly about him. And it was really cool to get a chance to meet him and his wife. We had lunch Friday before the game. I had a chance to interview him a little bit for this article. And it was wonderful to see the crowd reaction for Reggie's return to Eugene. And he certainly felt it too. So while Mariota and Laurla and Barner were torching Washington on offense, defense had a great game too. Kiko Alonso was all over the field. Ifo Ekpe-Olumu, I believe, forced 2 fumbles. And Avery Patterson had his second pick-6 interception return for a touchdown in just as many weeks. His only 2 touchdowns have come in back-to-back games. So the Ducks blew it open early, 35-7 lead at halftime. Second half just cruised. Washington scored a touchdown in the final minute to make it a little bit more respectable, but really it was no contest. Even though 2 weeks ago Oregon beat Arizona 49-0, getting the first shutout at Autzen since 2003, this game kind of felt more complete. This game felt more dominant. And in the wake of all the other contenders out there, like Florida State and LSU losing on Saturday, it really elevated Oregon up into being the prime contender to take on Alabama at the end of the season for the national championship. But first, there are 6 more games to go. And as Chip Kelly said in the post-game press conference that I was able to attend, every game is a rivalry game. He doesn't get why you circle 1 or 2 days on the calendar and say we're going to win this, because if those are the only games you win, you're not going to be there for very long. So, and Coach had a point. They treat every game like every game is a rival. Every game is the national championship, and can't argue with the results. Oregon wins and wins a lot. So maybe Chip's onto something there. But for fans, it's pretty cool to have rivals. It's great to beat them up. It makes the game day atmosphere that much better. And certainly Autzen Stadium was rocking on Saturday night. It was a pretty cool place to be. So yeah, the second half was more of the same. The defense forced 5 turnovers, completely shut down the Huskies. With Avery Patterson's pick-6 interception, that is the 4th interception return for a touchdown this season. The last time Oregon had 4 in a single season was 1991, when Eric Castle, Muhammad Oliver, and James Batista all had pick-6s. However, that took 11 games to do. The Ducks have done it in 6. So I talked to Nick Aliotti after the game and told him, you realize your team is well on its way towards setting a new record in defensive scoring, and he thought that was pretty cool. So 6 more games. Every game's a rivalry. Ducks have a bye coming up this next Saturday, and after that, heading out to the desert. I will be there up in the press box again. My second game in a row of working the press box. It's weird being media after being a fan for so many years, but I'll accept the role. Playing Arizona State, a very good Arizona State team this year, so it should be quite an interesting game. Now, after the game, and after the press conferences last night, I recorded a video in the Autzen Tunnel. A bit of an announcement. See, here it is right here. Unfortunately, the audio wasn't very good, and also the shot was kind of up to here, so I can't really use it. So instead, I will do it here and now. I have an announcement to make. Not only is this the last video log that I'm going to be doing, but I am also leaving FishDuck.com. FishDuck.com has been an absolutely incredible experience, a chance to use all of my skills and efforts to help make something that's been truly special, and I couldn't be more proud of all that we've accomplished on the site over the past year since we launched August 6th, 2011. I mean, for a self-run, self-funded fan local website covering a regional team, to just a year later be media credentialed after only a year, and to be nationally recognized, and all the places we've been linked, and all the fans and coaches both in the U.S., across the entire country, and internationally as well, chiming in about how much they love the site. It's been a fantastic experience. We started it with the goal of helping to educate fans, and I don't think people realize how much work has been put in to try to do just that. filling some of the niches that some of the other sites maybe weren't necessarily providing, covering a lot of history and trying to cover schematic analysis to help teach fans how to better understand the game and also all that's taken place to get Oregon to where it is now. The idea being more educated fans mean more passionate, better Oregon Duck fans out there. And after a year of very late nights trying to do just that, I feel at peace saying mission accomplished. But that's been at the detriment of my career and any sort of life outside of FishDuck.com. So I feel at peace saying mission accomplished and stepping away at this time. The site is not dying. The site is still going on. Charles Fisher is still captain of SS FishDuck. He's still carrying the ship onward, but it won't be with me for any longer. This weekend, coming back to Eugene in part was to formally resign my position and meet with the company lawyer to sign all the paperwork so that I'm no longer co-owner of FishDuck.com. I'm going back to just being a fan. That means I'm no longer, as of this video, affiliated with FishDuck. I might on a couple occasions still write an article as a guest writer, like, in 2 weeks I will be in Arizona covering the ASU game on behalf of FishDuck, even though I will no longer officially be a part of the FishDuck team. In fact, I'm going to be in the press box for the ASU, Cal, and USC games as a guest writer for FishDuck.com. But beyond that, I'm going back to just being a fan and focusing on my career. So no more long days and even longer nights working on content for FishDuck. I'm simply Kurt, Oregon Duck fan. So that also means I'm ending my vlog video series. This is the last one of these that I'm making. It's hopefully been a cool experience. It's been certainly interesting for me. A lot of work, just like FishDuck, but I've enjoyed doing it. Updating all of you on everything that's going on in Oregon sports, as well as perhaps cluing you in on some cool music out there that you may not have been aware of. I'll still be online, so check me out on Twitter and Facebook and on the message boards, and occasionally I'll be in the stands for games, but aside from a guest writing spot here or there and my other musings that will pop up wherever, I'm not really going to be writing much anymore. I'm not doing any more videos, at least not for now. Who knows what may come up in the future. If there's an opportunity, I might take something. I don't know. So, but for now, I'm not affiliated media anymore. I'm just Kurt. So if you've enjoyed my writing, if you've hated my work, if I've bored you to tears, whatever, just thanks for at least checking it out. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of work, and I'm looking forward to some time of simply relaxing and just being a fan. So for the final time, both as creator of Oregon Ducks videos, because I'm not uploading anything to YouTube anymore, sorry. Pac-12 said no more highlights online, and I'm going to abide by that request. So I won't be posting any more highlight videos, I won't be making any more video vlogs, and I won't be a part of FishDuck.com. So for the last time, this is Kurt saying go fish, get hooked, and go Ducks.